You're listening to Soulful High Performance with Dr. Rosie Mead. This is the place to be if you want to discover how to level up and achieve lasting success on your terms without the stress. I'm determined to share with you the tools, habits and mindset that you need to take your life to the next level so that you too can become a soulful high performer. Hi everyone, it's Dr. Rosie Mead, high performance coach and the mentor for your mind. In today's show, I'm talking about challenges. Now, I'm going through a particularly challenging time at the moment, and I'll be talking more about this over the coming episodes. But I'm kind of really leaning into that challenges present an opportunity to learn and to grow. And when we turn our mindset to focus on challenges in this way, we start to see big shifts happening. No longer are we focusing on the negatives, focusing on those kind of things that we can't control. You then start to focus on the things that you can take control of, you can take charge of, and it's not an overnight thing and it's not an easy thing to do. But you then start to see a shift in the way that you take a handle on the challenges and the way that you interpret those challenges. So let's dig a bit deeper into this. Have you ever had something uncontrollable happen to you? So something that's completely out of your hands. Probably the COVID pandemic is one that a lot of us think of right now, that just put a stopper in your path of success, achieving your dreams. It was completely out of your hands. Now, there are different paths that you can take with this. You can go down the route of woe is me and go into that spiral of negativity, focusing on the fact that there's nothing you can do about it. You can't control it, so why bother? Focusing on all of those negatives, everything that you've lost, the dreams that you're never going to achieve, or you're telling yourself that you're never going to achieve because of this blocker. The thing that then happens is negativity breeds negativity. So the more that you tell yourself that you're in a scarcity mindset, a lack mindset, that's what you get. So if you keep telling yourself that you don't have enough, that success just isn't going to happen for you. Say you've set a particular financial goal, but you're telling yourself that that's just unachievable. You're not the type of person that could ever achieve that life of your wildest dreams. Well, then guess what? That's never ever going to happen for you because you're believing that. It starts to become a self-limiting belief. So you're setting these goals, but then at the same time, your mindset is telling yourself that it's unachievable, that it's another goal that you're just going to be setting and not achieving, because this is what you do. This is what a pattern that you've seen throughout your life, perhaps. So you could go down that route of negativity and going into that spiral and then having nothing, not achieving what you want to achieve because you're setting yourself up for failure in that way. Or you could go down the other route where you see this, you acknowledge it for what it is. And, there are a lot of things that are completely out of our hands and curveballs come our way and there's nothing that we can do to stop it. But once you've acknowledged that is the situation, you then start to see it as an opportunity for growth, for learning, for personal development. And then what we start to see is that when we open our minds up to that side, to more of a growth mindset, we then start to see how we can take control. So yes, there are things that are out of our control and there's nothing we can do about it. But what we can control is how we respond to it. And we can control how we interpret that situation and how we then act upon it. That is 100% within our control. And so when we start to go down this path, we then see more opportunities open up because actually our mind is open for possibility, for opportunities then, rather than closing down into this fixed mindset of this crappy thing has happened. There's nothing I can do about it. Woe is me. Life is really hard. It's just going to get harder, and it will keep getting harder if we go down that fixed mindset route. With this other path, when we open up our mind and we start to see more opportunities, more possibilities, then we start to open up to more abundance in our life. Our mindset shifts dramatically, which then means that we seek more opportunities. We start to go back to our purpose. Everything, if you're listening to this, you are a high performer. You're striving to be a high performer. I don't believe that it's something that we ever get to like our final destination. I am now a high performing person, and that's it. We're constantly growing, evolving, learning, and that's what we need to be high performers. It's a never ending opportunity of possibilities for self-development, for growth, for learning. And so when we start to see challenges in this way, it's almost like, well, why not me? I am a high performer, and therefore it means that I'm going to be striving. I'm going to be going out there, chasing my goals, chasing the opportunities that are coming to me. I'm striving for more. I want more from myself, from my life. I want to take my everything, my life, my work, my career, my performance to the next level. And then when you start to see it in that way, it's almost like, well, why not me? If I'm striving for all these different things, then there are going to be moments where it doesn't go my way, because you know what? I'm not following the ordinary, the mundane path. That's not for me. That doesn't excite me. That doesn't fill me with passion. What fills me with passion is taking risks, is being innovative, is reinventing myself, my business. It's that side of it that often excites us as a high performer. And then with that, it comes challenges. It's just a very natural thing. So if we start to see it as that, we then start to see how we can react to it, how we can then take opportunities for growth and for learning from it, and then start to see in the moments of challenge, what lessons can be learned from this, and how can I take that into the next thing that I'm doing and the next part of my journey. How can I take all of these lessons that I'm learning along the way to make the next part even better, to develop myself even more? This is huge around self-development and personal growth. Now, one way that you can do this is by journaling. So journaling is a fantastic tool for getting the thoughts out of your head onto a piece of paper. I always journal before I go to sleep, and I find it's a really good way to help me sleep, because you're just downloading all of those thoughts that you've got. But also what happens is when we start to journal, and when we open up to journaling and kind of free our mind, not judging what's coming out, you then actually start to see opportunities that come out of that. There are things in your subconscious that you haven't even recognized you're presenting as an opportunity to this challenge. And that will start to flow during the journal. If you just let your pen go and you do this as a daily practice, you'll start to notice that there are certain things that are coming up for you with regards to this particular challenge or challenging period that you're going through. And you'll start to see your own solutions. I'm a very firm believer in listening to our intuition and our gut instinct, but often we tend to neglect that side. We don't listen to our instincts or what our intuition is telling us. So when we're journaling, that side will start to come out, and the more that you journal, you'll start to see a pattern emerging. It's kind of like riffing on your thoughts and just letting them flow. And you'll then, whether you like it or not, whether you want to listen to your intuition, but you will start to face the truth that's within you to face this particular challenge. And then it's your decision to go with that intuition, or whether to stick with a different path, take someone else's advice perhaps. But again, using journaling as a way to even kind of work through these solutions, potential solutions to the challenge that you're facing. Another aspect with journaling, which John reminded me last night, actually, I was talking about this particular challenge and he was saying, why don't you sit down with your journal and go through the worst possible scenario, which, as a very positive person, and I'm optimistic, I am a glass half full person, I don't like delving into that side of things because I just don't want to go there. I don't want to go into that negative side. But there is also some real benefit to doing this, to going, if you're in a particular challenge and you're now into this open mindset, growth mindset, wanting to look at the challenge as an opportunity for learning, for growth, then you kind of have to go to that side where it's, what's the worst case? If this is something that's particularly worrying you, what is the worst thing, absolute worst thing that would happen? And actually go there in your mind. And then don't just go there and then leave it. Go there, but think, okay, so that's the absolute worst in my mind of what could happen with this challenge. How then am I going to face that? If that happens, how am I going to take control of this? And again, focusing on what are the opportunities here? How am I going to grow? How am I going to learn? How am I going to focus on my own personal development as I move through this challenge? And then going to the positive side, visualizing what is it going to look like when you've gone through this challenge? What is that next bit of your journey? And think of your life. We are on a journey. And it really is about grabbing life with both hands and making the most of it, being the best that you can be, living your absolute best life. And remembering that that's all subjective. Your best life might not look the same as my best life because it's yours and this is completely about you. So focusing on that journey and thinking about when I get through the challenge, what is that next bit of the journey going to look like to me? What's it going to feel like? Who's there? And how am I then going to continue on this path of a high performer? So some food for thought for today around challenges and how you can see them as an opportunity for learning and development and growth. Do let me know your thoughts around this. Is there a particular challenge that you're in at the moment, or has there been a particular challenge that you've then used this kind of mindset with to move yourself forward onto the next stage of your journey? I'd absolutely love to know. Have a fantastic day and I'll catch up with you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you loved it, share it with at least 3 friends. Grab a screenshot, share, and don't forget to tag me. You can find me on all social channels at Dr. Rosie Mead. I'd love to support you further in your soulful high performance journey. Come and grab my free Success Without Stress starter kit. You can find the link in the show notes.